There are different platforms that you can open Canva on. So for the purpose of this video, we are opening it on our web browser. So what we're going to do is we open our web browser and then type in canva.com. It's going to bring you to this amazing interface where you can see all what Canva is about. Okay, so what we're going to do today is just to start designing. So we're going to click on Start Designing for free. Once we click on it, we had to sign up. So you need to sign up with your Gmail account. You can sign up with any email address or even with your Facebook, or try any other way. Once you click on this, they're going to give you another option that you can try with. I already have an account, so I'm going to close this and I'm going to choose login. So I'm going to log in with my email. Once I log in with my email, it's going to send me a passcode and I'm going to key that in and it's going to give me access to it. Well, now we are in. Okay, so once you log in, you're going to see this amazing interface that we have. And once you click on this, it takes you to your templates. There's so many amazing templates that you can pick from. Okay, we would talk about that later. There's also the AI, Canva AI, more like your Canva assistant that can help you in your design, can help you to generate images, document, code, and then video clips. So we will be doing that later. On the left-hand side, you're going to see the create button. Once we click on the create button, now it's going to ask you, what do you want to create? Do you want to create a presentation, social media? All these things here are things you can create. And above it here, we have our quick action, where you can have your screen recording, you can do your Canva coding, Magic Write, Translate. So some of the things here are pro. Okay, so we are not going to talk about the pro versions. We are going to use the free versions. Now, let's say you have a specific size because you took a measurement yourself. You can now click on custom size and then input your width, height, and then even change the units from pixels to inches, millimeters, or centimeters. Once you do that, you can click on your create button and then create your design. What we're going to do first today is to click on social media, and the popular social media, as you can see, we have the Instagram post, Facebook stories. So we're going to stick with Instagram post. So once we click on the Instagram post, what it does for us is it gives us the layout that we need to do our design. This is your canvas, and this is where all the work is going to happen. Now to your right panel, you get to see design. So once you click on design, you can go through all the designs that you have here. Once you see a crown next to it, it means it's a pro feature and you can't use it if you're on the free version. But like I said, we're going to learn how to do it ourselves using the free version. So if you like any of the designs you see here, you could just click on it. And once it uploads, you could just change it to whatever you want, because you can move it around. You could click on it, edit it. Instead of that, we want to say Christmas. Okay, so we want this instead of Xmas, and then we should stretch it. We will take a time and then go through all this, but this is what the template looks like. You could change it, change the position of anything that you want, and once you're done with it, you could download it out, position it well. Yes, so that's as simple as that is. You could, if you don't like this template, there are a whole lot of templates that you could go through and pick one for your design. Okay. Now let's go back and see what we have next. Now I'm going to add another page here by clicking on this to add a new page. Then I'm going to go to elements. So with elements, we have categories of the elements. We have shapes, graphics, 3D, stickers, photos, frames, grid, videos, audios, forms, mockups, charts, sheets, and tables. All these are things that you can do. So let's say we want to come up with a shape. We want to put in a shape. I want a star. I go to shapes. I get a star. I can stretch the star out, position it wherever I want to. I could change the star to something, to a different color. I could pick a color from any of my pictures that are in my content to do that. Okay, the ones I like this, I just leave it as such. Now that I have this shape, I could edit the shape again. Editing the shape means I could even change the shape. Yes, I could change the shape to whatever I like. And I don't need to replace it with another shape. Now, when I click on the strokes, I could increase the stroke around the shape. And then I could do this. I could change it into short dashes, into smaller dashes instead of the long straight line, depending on the type of design you're doing. Now, when I go to round corners, I could now make the corners so round so it looks smoother than it being that straight edge. So that's things that you could do to shape. And you could pick any shape and do the same thing to it. You could go on and change the color around it. And let's say we use red color or green or that. Okay. And then maybe we change this inner color to something dark. Let's try purple. Okay. To something like that. And let's change this to white so that it stands out, and decrease our strokes a bit. Okay. Or increase them. So you could actually use shapes to create anything that you want, and it could come out so beautifully, and you could be creative with your Canva. Okay, so that is it for shapes. Now you could go back and pick something else. Let's say you want a graphic. You could click on it and then pick any graphic that you want. Here you could be specific on the color that you want. Maybe I want reds. So all images, all graphics that are red, the orientation that I wanted a square. So it means it's going to filter it to be a square. I want horizontal, vertical, or I want horizontal. It's going to give me all that I want. Then whether it's animated or it's static. So if it's static, it's just going to give you no motion attached to it. If you want both animation and static, it's going to show the default one, giving you some animations and more like some movement on your design. And if you don't want that to, you could turn it off. And so you don't want you just want static, you could just get the static one, and then you're good to go and nothing is moving. Okay. Next, you have price. So here you can filter between free and pro. I think because I'm using a pro version, that's why I get to see all these things. Okay, so free, then it's going to show you only the free things that you could use. If you want to only see pro things, you just switch this off and turn this back on, and you have your pro versions or pro things that you could use. That is it for the graphics. So you could do same with 3D. Let me just add a new page. And with the 3D models, once you selected 3D, it gives you this for you to be able to change the position or make it look however you want it to be. You could turn it around. So you have that. Okay, so that, choose the position or the angle that you want your design to be in. So let's say I choose this B, and then I want this B to look. Let me just, so I could Control C or Command C to copy. I'm going to open a new and paste here, add a new page. Once I click on this button here, I could turn this B around. And then if this is how I want it, I can have it here. Then B is for boy. So let's say, then I can go to photos and then look for a boy, a little boy. Okay, so I have a little boy here. I'm going to look for a cute little boy and choose, but I'm not going to choose a pro. So this is free. I can choose this, set this as my background, and then I have this boy over here, and that's B for boy. And then I have my boy here. Then I can bring my text by pressing the T, clicking on T, or I can just go to text. That brings us to our text column where I can just add a text box and then that comes in, or I can add a heading text that is a little bigger than regular text box, and I can type boy in this, boy. Hold this dotted part and stretch it out. So I have that. So I have my 3D element, my text element, and then I have my photo element. Let's say I want to put something else on this. So let's go down and see. Maybe this boy has something else like a book, because book is also B. So I'm going to click on the frame, and this time I'm going to choose the circle, and I'm going to keep it over here. And I'm going photo again, so we can look for a photo. So we can just type a book here. Once we type book, we're going to get a photo version, a graphic version. I think we should use a graphic version of the book. Oh, okay, we have a mockup here, so you can click on mockup and click on this mockup with this here. And then I'm going to put an image on this book. So once I go back to my photos, I could use the same boy, click on the boy, and drag the boy onto the book. And I have my boy on the book. Whoa, okay. So I don't like how it looks, so I double click and I stretch it out like so it can fill the entire page like that. And then I click on apply changes. So I have my boy and the book. That should show up. Yeah. Okay, so then I have that. Change the positioning of the book by just clicking and moving it around. I can move the text here, and then I can put the book over here. Reduce it a little by holding the circled dots and dragging it in to reduce it. That is B for book, and we just did that. B for boy, and then B for book. So the boy has a book, and the book, we used all these three elements to give us this wonderful design. B for book, B for book, B for book, and B for boy. All right.